All right, gonna go over some freeCodeCamp course, doing Bootstrap course here. Bootstrap is a front-end framework used to design responsive web pages and applications. It takes a mobile-first approach to web development and includes pre-built CSS styles and classes, plus some JavaScript functionality. In this course, you'll learn how to build responsive websites with Bootstrap and use its included classes to style buttons, images, forms, navigation, and other common elements. So, 31 things to do here. There we go. And so, in the HTML5 and CSS section of the freeCodeCamp, we built a cat photo app, which is the very first one we do. I went over that before. That's the very first thing you do in the very first part of their not front end. I think it was just design or so. I can't remember exactly what it's called. But with responsive design, there is no need to design a mobile version of your website. It will look good on all devices with screens of any width. You can add Bootstrap to any app by adding the following code to the top of your HTML. Did this already get added? Oh, in this case, we've already added it for you to this page behind the scenes. So, and then I was just looking at this last night. I already added the div part with the class container fluid. So let's see, submit and go to the next. First, add a new image to the existing one. Set its source attribute to where's the... Should we want it under this one, I guess? Oops. Image with source equals. Oh, we need to do, okay. So there we go. It would be great if this image could be exactly the width of our phone screen. Unfortunately, with Bootstrap, all we need to do is add the image responsive class to your image. Okay, so image responsive like that. Your new image should not have the class smaller image. Oh, whoops. Is that right? That's right. So, now that we're using Bootstrap, we can center our heading element to make it look better. All we need to do is add the class text center to our H2 element. Remember that you can add several classes to the same element by separating each of them with a space like this. Class, red text, text center. So, H2, where's the H2? There we go. So red text and text center. Oh, look at that. Submit, go to the next challenge. Gotta do the old weight here. Okay, Bootstrap has its own styles for button elements, which look much better than the plain HTML ones. Create a new button element below your large kitten photo. Give it the button and button default classes, as well as the text of like. Okay, so that's below your large kitten photo, so that's the large kitten photo. Oops. Boom, button, button with the class equals button and button default, and button and the text of like. Boom. Normally your button element with the button and button default classes are only as wide as the text that they contain. For example, button class, button default, submit. I'll click submit. By making them block elements with the additional class of button block, the button will stretch to fill your page's entire horizontal space. Following it will flow onto the new line below the block. So now we need to put button block on there. Oops. Block A. Note these buttons still need the button class. Add Bootstrap's button block to your Bootstrap. Boom. The button primary class is the main color you'll use in your app. It is useful for highlighting actions you want to use or want your user to take. Replace Bootstrap's button default with button primary. All your button elements should have close text, yep. There we go. Call out optional actions with button info. So Bootstrap comes with several predefined colors for buttons. The button info class is used to call attention to the optional actions that the user can take. Create a new block level Bootstrap button below your like button with the text info and add Bootstrap's button info class to it. Note that these buttons will still need the button block classes. Okay. So create a new block level Bootstrap button below your like. Well, let's just copy it. And there, boom. And we don't want button primary, we wanted button info. And not like, we wanted it to info. Button, button block, button info. I believe that's everything. There we go. And warn your users of dangerous actions with button danger. Bootstrap comes with several predefined colors for buttons. The button danger class is the button color you'll use to notify users that the button performs a destructive action, such as deleting a cat photo. Create a button with the text delete and give the class button danger. Note that these buttons will still need the button block, yeah, of course. So we're just going to copy paste below this info button. Damn it. Below this info button here. Button danger. And we want it to say delete. Look at that. Run it. Let's roll. Use the Bootstrap grid to put elements side by side. Bootstrap uses a responsive 12-column grid system. which makes it easy to put elements into rows and specify each element's relative width. Most of the Bootstrap classes can be applied to a div element. Bootstrap has different column width attributes that it uses depending on how wide the user screen is. For example, phones have narrow screens and laptops have wider screens. Take, for example, Bootstrap's call MD star class. Here, MD means medium, and the star is a number specifying how many columns wide the element should be. In this case, the column width of an element on a medium-sized screen, such as a laptop, is being specified. Okay, so in the Cap photo app that we're building, we use call extra small. Yeah, and then with that is the number of columns, where XS means extra small. And that is the number of columns specifying how many columns wide the element should be. Put the like, info, and delete buttons side by side by nesting all three of them within one div. Oh, come on. There we go. One div, and then give the class row. Then within one div class row element, your button should be nested with. Buttons should be nested within the same div element with the class row. Okay, so div class equals row. And then each of your Bootstrap buttons should be nested within its own div element. Okay. So now we just need to with class equals call XS4 That should do it, right? Yeah, nice. We can clean up our code and make our cat photo lab look more conventional by using Bootstrap's built-in styles instead of the custom styles we created earlier. Don't worry, there will be plenty of time to customize your CSS later. Delete the .rred text. Delete that and the smaller image CSS decorations of your style. So that the only declarations left in your style elements are H2 and thick green border. Delete the P element that contains a dead link. Then remove the red text. Wait, what? From the P. Delete the P element that contains a dead link. Oh, this one? Let me just make sure. So H2 shouldn't have red text, which, okay, should now have text primary. Okay. Okay, we're gonna delete the P element that contains a dead link. then remove the red text class from your H2. This must be the one with the dead link, right? Cat photos. Boom. And your paragraph should no longer use monospace. Where do we get monospace? Give me one sec. Finally, remove a smaller image class from your first image. And then you should add the image responsive class to your top image. That's the top image, right? I think that's okay. Well, where's the paragraph element using that? Oh, there we go. Okay, this is much easier to see on an actual thing. That's all looking good so far, eh? There we go. So you can use spans to create inline elements. Remember when we used the button block class to make the button fill the entire row? Boom. That illustrates the difference between the inline elements and the block elements. By using the inline span element, you can put several elements on the same line and even style different parts of the same line differently. Using a span element, nest the word love inside the P element that currently has the text cats, things, love. Or things, wow, that was a little dyslexic, wasn't it? Things, cats, love. Then give the span the class text danger to make the text red. Okay. So what was it? Things cats love. Where is that? Things cats love. There we go. Okay. So we go inside your P element. Okay, so around the word love. Now I get it. Span. Class. Oh, there's no class, I don't think. Don't need a class for this one, I guess. Then give the span the class text danger to make it red. Okay. you would do this for the P element that has the text. There we go. We'll make a simple heading for our cat photo app by putting the title and the relaxing cat image in the same row. Remember, Bootstrap uses a responsive grid system, which makes it easy to put elements into rows and specify each element's relative width. Most of Bootstrap's classes can be applied to a div element. Nest your first image and your H2 element within a single div with the class row. Okay. That's where we want the H2 element. There we go, and then we got to do another little boom. Divving this shit up. And then we want this right here. Like that. Just like that. Times it. Okay. So now we've got Font Awesome is a convenient library of icons. These icons can be web fonts or vector graphics. These icons are treated just like fonts. You can specify their size using pixels, and they will assume. Oh, you know what? I'm actually gonna switch that bad boy over to that side. There we go. These icons are treated like fonts. You can specify their size using pixels, and they will assume the font size of their parent HTML element. And so you can include Font Awesome in any app by adding the following code to the top of your HTML. I've already added it behind the scenes, of course. It's just like before. The I element was originally used to make other elements italic, but now commonly used for icons. You can add the Font Awesome classes to the I element to turn it into an icon. For example, I class fast fa info circle. Okay. Note that the span element is also acceptable for use with icons as well. Use Font Awesome to add a thumbs up icon to your button by giving it an I element with the class fas. Font Awesome and Font Awesome thumbs up. Make sure to keep the text like in the icon. Okay. I'll just copy the first part. Boom, and this was the like. So we want to do it inside the element, right? Right here. And then an I right after. Right? That looks right to me. Oh, what am I doing? Thumbs up. Copy the wrong one. Now we're what? Doesn't it have a closing tag? /i right here. Huh? I icon element should have a closing tag. Is this not a closing tag? Slash I. Huh? Is this not a closer? Huh? What is going on? FAS, FA, thumbs up, like, closing tag. Why is it not showing this? Test completed. Running test. Your icon element should have closing tag. What? Huh? It's working right there. Maybe I just need to do that. Why is it saying it's not? There's no closing tag. What the? What are you talking about? I got it right here. I. Do I have to go like capital I or? What? Oh, I don't want to do that right now. Maybe just reset this lesson. Maybe if I just put it actually all in there, it'll be... Again, why won't it let me do this? Can I just like force? Is this a normal thing? I'm gonna quickly check this out. Like maybe they just got some fucking why is it not? Okay, we're just gonna go out, go see if I can go past this, because why is it not allowing me? Let me see if it shows up. Oh, you don't put it in between. You put it beforehand. I'm an idiot. Okay. That is good to know. So now let's go back and redo that. Because I am just stupid. Okay. I thought we'd have to put it in between. Like everything else that you have a closing tag with. There we go. Font Awesome is a convenient library. Is this the right one? Yeah. So Font Awesome is a convenient library of icons. These icons can be web fonts or vector graphics. These icons are treated just like fonts. You can specify their size using pixels, and they will assume the font size of their HTML or parent HTML element. Use Font Awesome to add info circle icon to your info button and a trash icon to your delete button. You can use either I or span. May as well use I, right? Keep span for this kind of thing. And I will, yeah. So let's copy this for the info. And then this for the trash. Boom, there we go. And so you can use Bootstrap's XS star classes on form elements too. This way our radio buttons will be evenly spread out across the page, regardless of how wide the screen resolution is. Nest both your radio buttons within a div class row element. Then nest each of them within a div class. Okay. So our radio buttons. Which ones are our radio buttons? There we go. So nest both your radio buttons within a div. Here we go, and then give each of them the div class. It's a good little introduction to it. I'll probably have to take a look at some more stuff just so I know more, but boom, there we go. Since Bootstrap's XS star classes are applicable to all form elements, you can use them on your checkboxes too. This way the checkboxes will be evenly spread out across the page, regardless of how wide the screen resolution is. Nest all three of your checkboxes into, alright. Another row, the checkboxes. Boom, and there we go, and then each of them are in one of these. I guess I could have just copy pasted that too, but you know. Boom, there we go. Okay, you can add the FA paper plane font awesome icon by adding I blah 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 within your submit button element. Submit, where are you? We're gonna be the very last thing. Boom. And then give your form's text input field a class of form control. Give your form's text input field the cat photo you okay, input, give it, sorry, okay, so that's all textual input text area select elements with the class have a width of 100%. Okay, so all textual input text areas select elements with the class dot form control have width of 100%. So the submit button in your form, button primary, gotta have that. Type class, it's with the class, right? Kind of like that. Oh. Boom, and sorry, we wanted button class equals button primary. You should include that. For the text input in your form, that's form control. Okay. Boom. There we go. And so line up form elements responsively with Bootstrap. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit cotton mouthed, so I'm just gonna quickly take a little break here. I'll be right back. We are back. Okay, where were we? Now let's get your form input and your submit button on the same line. We'll do this the same way we have previously by using a div element with the class row, of course. So we want them on the same line, and so they will be in a div with the class row. Copy and paste. Beauty. Is that just after the buttons? Yeah. Boom. And then by using div elements with the class row and the other div elements within, it's using the okay, so your input form should be this one, because nest both your form's text input and submit button within the div with the class row. Nest your form's text input with a, there we go. So input, we need div, and that will be class equals column extra small 7. That will be 5. And this will be div. And just like that. Now they're on the same row. Let's do it. Boom. So now let's build something from scratch to practice our HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap skills. We'll build a jQuery background, which we'll soon put to use in our jQuery challenges, which that's the next thing. So to start with, create an H3 element. Okay. With the text jQuery playground. Color H3 with the text primary. Class equals boom. Text primary and text center. Run. There we go. jQuery back playground. I keep saying background, I don't know why. Now let's make sure all the content on your page is mobile responsive. Let's nest your H3 element within a div element with the class container fluid. Now we'll create a bootstrap row for our online element, or inline elements. Create a div element below the H3 tag with class row. Div equals, or no, div class equals row. Okay. Let's see here. Now that we have bootstrap row, let's split it into 2 columns to house our elements. Create 2 div elements with your row, both with the classes call x6. Okay, so 2 div elements. Boom, and there we go. Put these bad boys back on so I can hear the music. Bootstrap has a class called well that can create a visual sense of depth for your columns. Nest 1 div element with the class. Nest 1 div element with the class well within each of your call x6 elements. Okay. Div element within the class well. Oh, okay. So we're going deeply nested here. Div class equals well. There we go. And so add elements with bootstrap within your bootstrap wells. Now we're several div elements deep on each column row. This is as deep as we'll need to go. Now we can add our button elements. Nest 3 button elements with each of your div elements having the class name well. Okay, so we just need 3 buttons each. Okay. And no class that we need to give them either, right? Perfect. Done. Oh, now we just gotta wait. That's alright. That's alright. Whoop. Water in my beard. Okay, so Bootstrap has another button class called button default. Apply both the button and button default classes to each of your buttons. Okay. Of course, you gotta make it a little difficult, don't you? Making it so I can't just... Boom. Okay, create a class to target with jQuery selectors. Not every class needs to be corresponding CSS. Sometimes we create classes just for the purpose of selecting these elements more easily using jQuery. Give each of your button elements the class target. Okay. Let's just copy paste and then just keep adding it in. Oops. Okay, add ID attributes to the Bootstrap elements. Recall that in addition to class attributes, you can give each of your elements an ID attribute. Each ID must be unique to a specific element, used only once per page. Let's give a unique ID to each of these div elements of class well. Okay. Remember that you can give an element ID like this, ID center well. Give the well on the left the ID left well. I guess this will be left well, right? And right well. Boom. And now we've got, for the sake of clarity, let's label both of our wells with their IDs above your left well inside the col xs6 div l. Add an h4 element within the text, or with the text left well. Boom. So above your left well, inside its col 6s. There we go. Div element. Add an h4 with the text. Go, 90% done. We will also want to be able to use jQuery to target each button for its unique ID. I have a feeling that we've moved on to the jQuery thing. Just give me 1 sec. Did we finish this one? No, we didn't. Okay. quite gotten into the jQuery one yet, but it's about to lead into it. So we'll also want to be able to use jQuery to target each button by its unique ID. Give each of your buttons a unique ID starting with target 1 and ending with target 6. Each of your buttons, target 1 through target 6. So make sure that target 1 to target 3 are left well. Target 4, okay. So target 1, let's just go target. And that's the ID, right? Target 1. Target 2. Target 3. Target 4. 5. And 6. There we go. Label Bootstrap buttons. Just like we labeled our wells, we want to label our buttons. Give each of your button elements the text that corresponds to its ID selector. Okay, so it'll be just a hashtag target. Target, target, target. Target. Just like that. And use comments to clarify code. When we start using jQuery, we will modify HTML elements without needing to actually change them in HTML. Let's make sure that everyone knows they shouldn't actually modify any of this code directly. Remember that you can start a comment, boom, add a comment with boom, add the comment at the top of your image and see code below this line should not be changed. And so right at the top of it. There we go. So we're all done that. Now what we're gonna do, put this into VS Code. Ask me later. So let's just go into here. I want to see all of our, oops. I want to see all of the code here. How do I see all of the code? I want the previous stuff as well. Change the no, so that's still the jQuery. Where did that one end? now let's see what this looks like if we go. Why did it just do that? If we open up a new terminal. And that's when it goes into that one. Okay. So there we go. We got that all into there. We just need to change that last little bit on here, which was the div container fluid. Oh, it's the wrong one, that's why. Is this putting on the Ritz? Alright, sorry, it was the... Yes, okay. By using a div element with the class row and the other div elements within nest both your form text quotes. Div with the class row. So div. So that's all in line. There we go. And then nest your form's text input. The class this. Boom, and then the other one in the div this. That. Boom. Save that. See what it's changed. Boom, there we go. Look at that. That's it, right? That should be all done for this. See here? Doesn't look like those icons showing up. looks great on this, but not so much on the actual page. Let me see here. We should have that. Text dangerous working. Do we not have on the like? I guess that doesn't. It's just not working on this. I don't know. Let's see what's going down. There's the dead row. This is like a. Let's see if that works. Let me do the FA. Yes? No. That's not. It's just FA. Alright, well, it's just not working on that, so that's fine. Do I have to download Bootstrap? No, right? Because we got Bootstrap up here. Yeah, Bootstrap. Boom. Right there. Go back, just see at the top of this. Maybe I need to add it. Oh, I already got that in there. Okay. Well, that's done, so let's just save this. And, yeah, we'll be back a little bit later.